Quit eating, folks, 30 seconds to showtime. Grab your seat, leave your drinks to the bar. Hold your breath, put your hands together. We present Stanford Bay's finest star, who has danced with the Mary Guinea, who has dined with the Queen of Vermont. We trace the voyages of Sinbad, corresponded with the men who can't love us to be. C'est pas la même chose que la vache qui rit. La vache est fort, mon ami.
And hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another edition of the G Spot. My name is Geoff with the G, and today I've got a really great and lovely and wonderful human being who I've known for a few years now, the great and wonderful Remy Dee. How are you doing, Remy? Hello? How are you doing, Remy?
Good.
Okay, good. We are now on the air. I screwed up on my own part, so it's on you. Yes. Welcome. As I said, welcome to the show. My name is Geoff G, and I have the lovely and wonderful Remy Dee, from all the way from New Orleans, and so a great and lovely person who I've known for a few years now. Yeah, I actually met you in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's been going on with you in this? I know this busy time where everybody has so much time to be on stage and stuff. So I know I appreciate you. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Man, I'm like, Instagram is being really cruel, and like Facebook too, because they show you memories from like the last couple of years, and like all the memories I have is like I have 5 gigs this week. I have 7 gigs in 5 days or whatever. I'm just like, I miss that. Stop taunting me, Instagram. Yeah, as far as what I've been doing, I've been coping as best I could the last year, like most of us have. Journaling helps, and I've just been doing a lot of behind the scenes work. I've been trying to get better at editing videos, and I finally upgraded my website. And I'm just anxiously, like the rest of us, itching to get back to a stage, but just trying to keep busy and stay healthy in the meantime and doing other productive things. Hi, my cat's here now.
Okay, then that's great. We'll just interview the cat because apparently that's what's important. So Remy, just shh, cat. No, yeah, no, I totally get it. That's none of your. I was only mostly kidding. No, it's the highest rated show I've ever done because there's a cat. That's fair. I mean, that's usually how it works.
Hi, Hades.
Adorable. What's the cat's
name? Hades.
What's the cat's name?
Hades.
Hades. That tracks.
Lord of the Underworld.
And he pretty much is that, correct? You named it well, or he took the name well, one of the two.
It suits him.
Yeah, like when the pandemic started on my end too, we got locked down here in Austin and stuff like that, and I was given I was furloughed, and because it was going to be more money for me to stay home than it was for me to try to work the limited hours they were going to give me behind the scenes in the shop. So they go, you're going to make more money this way, so we're going to do it this way, and we're going to make sure the language is very vague, just vague enough that you can ride the train as long as you want. And I go, okay, cool. So stuck at home, nothing's open, nothing better to do. So I did very similar. I learned how to do this, which is the internet shows and stuff like that. So because I hate being bored.
And on top of that, I feel like since a lot of the burlesque shows switched to virtual, to digital, a lot of us have had to learn how to up our game with lighting and filming ourselves and trying to rearrange our space as best we can to make it so we could dance at home and do these shows at home. So that's fun too.
Well, I was talking to a drag performer here in Austin, and they went. The good thing about the fact is that I always imagined my routines as movies, and now I get to actually make a movie. And
Yep.
so that's like I mean, that fits for burlesque. That fits for everybody, just about. I mean, the only thing you don't get is that actual rush of an audience. But
That's been the hardest part for me with doing the online shows is like not hearing the applause, not hearing the hoots and hollers and the like. But you get on the flip side of that is like when you're on stage, you get one shot, you have one chance to get this right. But when you're filming, you can do it over and over again until you get it the way you want it.
mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, if you're a perfectionist like me, this could take forever. And then when I'm editing my act, I have to keep reminding myself, like, okay, Remy, this doesn't have to be an Oscar-worthy short film. They wanted a video of your act. Just like, it doesn't have to be an Oscar-worthy short film, but that part of my brain is like, but what if it does?
I mean, it's fine. Also, like doing like shows like doing like this, like between this and the other shows, like Devil's Hour and now even Geoff and the Truth, because there's an element of the recording, but there's also an element of live and doing things like Twitch, because this is broadcast on Twitch. There is some audience interaction, so that helps a little bit. I mean, you don't get to hear the woo, yay, ha ha ha. And so,
Right.
with like one of the other shows I do, I put in a laugh track button just so, like, when I make a joke, I just hit it, so that way I go if it's especially that way I go, I find that funny, so I'm gonna laugh, so it helps me,
Yeah.
so I can fake it.
Uh-huh.
So just keep lying to yourself. It's fine. It's fine.
That's what I need to do. I need to just stick in the hoots and hollers in the video.
Yeah, you should. I mean, or at the very least on your end when you're doing it, so that way, even if it's just you, like for the sound check, because I know you're doing the act, you can just in the act with throwing in like a bed of like the cheers that only you're
Yeah.
necessarily going to hear. It may not be whatever
Um,
you send out, but that's at least for you. You go, okay, I'm done. You hear the claps and the applause. I mean, it's not the same, but at least it's a little something.
closer to what we had.
Yeah, because because I know New Orleans is. I have several friends in New Orleans. New Orleans is like super locked down.
Yep.
I think the only city more locked down than New Orleans is L.A.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
So
unfortunate we're not having parades this year for Mardi Gras. I think this is the first time. But a lot of people forget that parades have been canceled in the past. Most recently, as 1979, the parades were shut down because of a police strike. But yeah, we're not having parades this year because of it. And we're back to a week ago. We went back to phase 1. So we're gonna see if everybody plays nice this time.
yeah, and well, on the plus side, because for some reason people are fucking coming here as tourists.
They're coming here too.
And so because I work in a costume shop and it's an iconic shop. Basically, it's like you're going to Austin. You want to go see the weird things. Lucy in Disguise with Diamonds is on that checklist to go to the weird Austin experience. And so people coming in from New Orleans, no less, too. I've talked to a lot of people from New Orleans, and the cool thing, I like talking to some people the other day about the house parades, the house floats.
The house floats, yeah.
Which I think is amazing. So I thought that was I go, what a good way to kind of make it work. I mean, it's for those that aren't familiar. For New Orleans, is they have the parades and stuff like that. But this year they're doing the house floats, which people are They're hiring the people who make floats to decorate their houses, which I think is cool.
Yeah, and it's given like all of the float makers that are out of work this year because of no parades is giving them something to do. And some of that, and everybody left and right has been tagging me in a house in the Irish Channel that decorated their house to look like sharks for Shark Week. And it's all super cute. And some of the houses have little baskets on the front of their fence that have little trinkets and throws in them, like saying, please take one, like little things of bubbles, little toys, little things of beads. And I think the crew of house floats is super cute. And there's a couple in my neighborhood, and it's nice when I'm walking my dog and just seeing little pieces of Mardi Gras the best we can make it this year.
No, I think it's. I thought when I heard about it, it's like one of the people from New Orleans came in, like when they came in the shop, because all of them keep coming in. Why don't you have a place like this in New Orleans? I go, well, because we don't. That's why. And I think in the end, I don't think New Orleans wants a shop like us. Kind of does, but not really. But it's one of those. So I go, oh, okay, cool. We're talking about stuff, and I go, yeah, they made mention of it. I go, oh, that's really cool. I'll have to talk to some people I know in New Orleans about it, and so that's what we're talking about now. So
Mhm.
yes, one is if you happen to be in New Orleans right now, go check out some house floats. And if you're
Mhm.
not in New Orleans, stay away from New Orleans.
Yes.
Stay home. Don't come to Austin either. And wash your hands, mask up, and stay home. Keep in your pod if you have a pod. If you don't, just stick with your, like, be like me, just stick with your dog. Uh,
Mask goes over your nose.
Mask goes over your nose.
Oh
Yes,
man.
yeah, because I see these people coming in, and I'd say it's a South thing, but I know it's all over too. But these people who are like still protesting, and I'm just going, the private business, we can require anything we want. City says you have to have a mask over your nose if you're in a public space until February, mid-February now. I think we're currently at.
Mhm.
Although rumor has it that part of the first 100 days of Joe Biden's presidency is a nationwide masking.
Fingers
It's
crossed. Like,
well, it comes down to the fact is no matter what they say, is it's about enforceability, and
yeah,
that's really where we have to come to play. That's been the issue from day one. Is like there's nothing to enforce it other than us. Like businesses can kick people out. That's yeah, we can do that, but it's the people walking down the street like no mask, breathing hard within 2 feet of people. That's an issue.
yeah.
Hey, hey, Jade Delcolic. Yeah, you get an anniversary every month. That's how it works. Every time you renew every month, you get an anniversary. Good for you. Thank you for resubscribing. Uh, welcome to the G Spot. I'm talking with the amazing Cure with the Curves, Remy Dee. I even remembered the tagline.
Yay. I needed two taglines. I needed one that I could take with me nationally, which is the cure with the curves, and then I have one locally, the Shalmation sensation. Because I don't know, because I'm from I was born in New Orleans, but I grew up in a city called Chalmette, which is like kind of like right next to New Orleans. Bella Blue says that Chalmette is like the Staten Island of New Orleans.
Okay.
And you call people from Chalmette a Shalmation. So my tagline back home is the Shalmation sensation. But when I go outside of Louisiana, nobody knows what the hell that is. So I needed to come up with a second tagline that was a little more uh,
It's on brand.
palatable.
So, well, plus, Remy D, the Cure with the Curves, that is on brand. So that works.
Thank you. Which I guess is a good thing because that means like because I had to come up with that because I was starting to go outside of Louisiana more, so that was a
That
nice ego boost.
that is true. That's for also uh, you one for the Onicon for the anime convention that one year I actually produced a show and had you come in, so that's why I went. I remember the tagline. It was a fun weekend, even if the weather
Fun
was pretty
weekend.
dreary. It was still fun.
That's it. We
Nothing
had
like
we had onesies. We were okay.
that's true. Yeah, that's right. I rocked the onesie Sunday. So but yeah, that's
Mhm.
but yeah, it was okay. Nothing like being on the beach in the middle of winter. Right with me, but no, it's still fine. I look forward to someday I get to go back out and be around people again. It'd be nice. So part of the reason, other than to catch up, because we haven't seen each other in forever, I think the last time I saw you was probably March. Last time I was in New Orleans, I want to say probably
It's not that. Maybe
it
when I
was.
was in Houston
I know definitely
doing.
the Houston thing because that's when I
Yeah.
still had hair, long hair, and um, because we did the picture because both myself and Ben Kirsch with our
That's
long
right.
hair.
That's right.
Yeah,
The
we had to
Luscious
be
Hair Club.
you had to be surrounded by men with long hair. I mean, it's not a bad gig.
Right?
But yeah, like, cause I was there for the Hootenanny back in March, and I want to say probably we may have like it might have been like the extent of it. I go, hey, and that may have been the extent of it. I don't remember. Uh, and but like I know that we were like the last show that happened in New Orleans before everything shut down. So
Mhm.
Scabies blames us. So that's what he keeps telling me. So
I'm gonna see Scabies again on the 28th. I'm doing the Peep Show again at the Always.
oh, amazing! Like yeah. Also, if you're in New Orleans, this is only to you people who actually are there and living there. If you aren't there, don't go. So yeah, the Peep Show at the Always, which is an amazing club. That's actually where I first met you, was at the Always.
Yes, yes. I remember you gave me your card. I remember that.
Yeah, we exchanged cards. Yeah, because I would because this is before Vivacious moved to New Orleans, and we'd been friends for about a year or so previously. And she happened to be in town same time the Hoot was, and it was her birthday. So I went, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll hang out with you for your birthday. And I took her to the Hoot, and then after the Hoot, we went over to the Always for the show there, and that's where we met because we came in like halfway through the show or something, and so we watched the
Mhm.
last end of the show. And like New Orleans burlesque is a little bit different than most other people's burlesque.
Yeah. Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
fine, I'm on board. It's just like it was
especially
unexpected.
especially burlesque at the Always, because we can do pretty much whatever we want at the Always.
Yeah. So how is it different? Okay, first off, Jadel, um, when the city opens up again, go. But if it hasn't yet, even if they're doing shows there, that's because they're doing locals shit. That's why it was. Um, so New Orleans is for burlesque is pasties optional, and more than that, I believe I remember seeing for that show at Always.
In,
So
in some venues,
yeah,
some venues we have to do adhere to the adhere like pasties.
hey.
Some venues we do have to have pasties and a G-string on, but yeah, like spaces like the Always, or like I remember like certain theaters we could get away with full nudity. But the burlesque at the Always was just raucous.
No, it's good. I had a great time seeing that show, and I ended up hanging out there some in like in the years since because that was a couple of years ago, and I still like because it's that whole area. I really love that area of New Orleans, anyways, because that's Cafe Vegetable, which is where the Hoot is at, and then like block
Mhm.
over is where you get the Always. There's the hi hat
The
across
Hi
the
Ho
street.
Lounge.
The Hi Ho is right. Hi Ho Lounge, which is across the way, which is the first bar I went into in New Orleans at the Hoot, and
Mhm.
me and Scabs, because one of the Scabs, walked in because we're killing time, so we grab a drink, and they're going, yeah, cool, you can get a shot of good liquor and a Youngling beer for $5. So we're going sold, and basically, you get a free beer with drinking shots. We're down. And then Siberia became is it Carnival Lounge? Is that right?
Carnival, yeah, it's
Or
spelled like
Carnival?
the Brazilian, the
Yeah,
Portuguese
that
spelling.
yeah, because I believe that's where yeah, because Vivacious had her show there that Sunday at the Hoot because Salem was
Mhm.
performing at, and I dragged everybody I knew from the Hoot to go over there because Salem was performing, who performed at the Hoot as well, and I just went, friends are over here. So we helped fill
And
up
then
that
right on the same side of the street as Always is Cajuns, which is where we all would go drunkenly sing karaoke after
yes.
gigs many a night.
Oh yeah, no, it's Cajuns, yes, who has probably like the strictest bouncer of any bar I've ever been to. Like
Do you
that guy
remember?
doesn't.
You remember what the bouncer looked like?
He was a guy. I think he had longish hair.
Okay.
it was the same bouncer I saw every year because I've been going like 3 years now, and it's the same bouncer every time. There's not a different person. He checks everybody's IDs. If it looks even slightly wonky, he says no. Like I think the first year I went, my ID just expired, and like I goes, Jen, I went literally. I had a wristband from the Ohio. I go, I was just in there. He goes, they let you in. I go, yeah. He goes, all right, go on in. But I had to do that.
Yeah, no, because I'm asking because years ago, I don't know if it's the same guy, but I dated one of the bouncers at Cajuns, and he, would tell me they have to be such a hard ass about it because the ACS, I think, the group that comes in, checks to make sure everybody's adhering to like the 21 and up rule, they are hard asses in New Orleans, and I think like every once in a while they'll do like a raid on a club or they'll give tickets to people that like aren't checking IDs correctly. So that's and that's why they were such hard asses at
I'm sure,
Cajuns.
but like of all the like literally, I went to any other bar except any other bar in New Orleans, and it was like nothing to get into. Like, but that one was always of all bars. Like I go, it's a freaking karaoke bar, and
Right.
it's not. It's like there's the like across the street they have like rockin' bands and stuff like that where kids would be more likely to jump in, but it's just like they go. I still got in. It just
Yeah.
it just took me like usually like that. Hot Todd Lincoln's in the chat. Hello, Hot Todd Lincoln. He talked about how they kicked out Alfie Allen, the actor, because he was too hammered at Cajuns, and Alfie
a lot
Allen was
of
in.
a lot of celebrities wound up at Cajuns, and a lot of them have gotten thrown out of Cajuns.
Yeah, like not this one we just had. The one before, I met up with the cast of Preacher was there, and
Oh yeah, they hang out there a lot.
Yeah, but
I
it's like
met the
literally like
guy.
all the freak show people were there, and I went Artie Dodger goes, hey, that looks like the actress, and I go, all right, I'll go find out because I'll talk to anybody. And I went, hey, you look just like Ruth Negga. She goes, well, I am Ruth Negga. I go, well, there you go. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying, I'm sorry.
No, I met the singer from All American Rejects was there one night. And he was fine. He was nice. He was polite. But I've heard about like Kristen Shaw got really drunk there and like went out to the Nutri-Ground and started dancing. Macaulay Culkin was there. I don't think it was at Cajuns, but I think at another bar he got like way too drunk to function or something. Charlie Day popped in there. I had a bunch of friends go and say hi to Charlie Day, and then a couple of years ago Elijah Wood popped in.
Well,
so that's a hot spot for the celebs for some reason.
Well, I think because it's not. I think because what I noticed is I think what I like in a lot of that. I think a lot. It's more of the locals area of bars versus like the tourist area of bars.
Yeah, absolutely. You need a break. Like not everybody wants to go to Bourbon Street when they're visiting.
Yeah, I know several like a magician friend of mine who does the hoot every year, Dante. He goes, I don't go there. I mean, I get offered money to go play, and I don't go. So I don't even go to play to get for money. I'm not going to.
I don't work on Bourbon. I used to work on Bourbon, but now like I need like my rate for Bourbon Street has gone up just because like.
Well, yeah, it's like literally. I told about this last time. I go, Dante. The reason to go for me because I don't care one way or the other. I go to take the people who'd never been there at night and just watch them look at everything. That's my whole plan. My entertainment is watching the people dragging them over. They go, no, here's Bourbon Street. What? That's what I watch. I don't care what the other shit's going on. I just watch them go, what? I can't figure it out. Da, 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 and then just hustle drinks from people. And that's what I do. But that's I was trying to drag the Monsters of the Monsters of Schlock was they've been 2 years to the Hootenanny. And this was the first year that they could actually just wander around and look at stuff. And so I ended up being their guide for some reason. And I even did the thing. All right, cool. We'll stop by. Like, we did a day trip. We did during the day for like, all right, cool. Let's jump in this bar, grab some travelers, and we'll keep going. I goes, well, what do you mean? I go, we're gonna grab some drinks and then wander around. So we have to drink them there. No, we can walk around with our drinks
Yep.
And they go, yeah, I mean, it's for Canada. So he goes, we can do that. I go, yeah, let's get some drinks.
I've almost gotten in trouble, like in cities out of town for like asking for go cups or like almost wandering out like with a drink in my hand or no, it was a bottle of beer or it was a bottle of cider in my hand, and I was like about to walk out the bar, and somebody had to catch me and be like, "You hold up, like you can't do that here. You're not in New Orleans right now."
There's spots in Austin you can get away with it and be okay. I work on a street where you can walk around I haven't seen people walk at cocktails. At the very least, they can walk around with like beers and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying they don't have cocktails. I just haven't noticed it because they come in the store with the beer.
I am so happy that I managed to get to Austin before the pandemic started. I went last January. I went a year ago for Jemmy Galactic's Nerdlesque show. They were doing a Neil Gaiman show, so I brought my Stardust act to Austin.
That's right. I was supposed to go to that show, and something came up and I couldn't go because I was living here in Austin at the time, and I actually even put a thing in and go, hey, I can do this sort of stuff, and I was going to just tell a story and do weird stunts as I'm telling, or doing a quick short story from Neil Gaiman. And basically, Jemmy, she just goes, I just got so many people coming in for this sort of stuff that I just don't have. I go, no, fun, I get it. I'll get the next one. Little did we know.
Little did we know.
There's no next one. And it's in talking to people, at least here locally, anybody doing big show, it's like there's not going to be anything big. It's all online. It probably will be at least until late summer.
Yeah. So I'm really glad. And I got there the day before the show so that I could actually explore the city a little bit before before the show that night. Like we went and found the Stevie Ray Vaughan statue, and there's a really beautiful library not too far from that. So we went to the library.
Oh yeah, that's a brand new library too. What they designed,
beautiful,
amazing. It used to be if I remember correctly, it used to be the power plant. Then they just
I can see that. It looks like a power plant building.
But you go inside, it's amazing and how it's designed and stuff like that. Yeah, before I moved here, I came and visited a friend, and my really good friend of mine. She goes, all right, cool. I'm gonna show you all the Austin stuff. And so literally, from where she lived at, we walked everywhere, including hitting that library, which is like 6 floors of library. It's amazing, and they have a big rooftop garden and bar. And then just all sorts of stuff running all around like that. The Stevie Ray Vaughan thing. There's the big Willie Nelson thing and all that sort of stuff downtown. Without getting into 6th Street that much, even though there's 6th Street kind of borders on some of that. But no, I'm glad you had a chance to go visit a lot of that because there's also other really cool stuff I've been discovering as I've lived here.
When I did go to the Museum of the Weird, which was great. And
watch the show?
Then
Did you do the tour in the show?
Yeah. I can't remember my guide's name, but he did the little sideshow at the end.
Was it Dan Block?
No, it was the guy wearing a fez hat.
Oh, that's Sideshow Benny. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
Yeah, I know Benny. Yeah.
And he did the the blockhead with the nail, and I took the nail out with my teeth. And then after that we went to a place that was doing comedy, but it was also like a Bob Ross kind of thing. Like they were drawing while they were telling jokes.
You were at Flappers, not Flappers. No, it's yeah, that's right there at the right there. Basically, it was a corner, and that's when everything started. And the other side was just like parking lots and shit.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking. I think was that Flappers. Yeah, I think it is Flappers. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
and they had like a little. There was a milkshake little food stand out front that had the best milkshake, the best vegan milkshake I've ever had in my life.
Which sounds really weird.
So Austin was a good time, and I'm really glad I got to experienced that before.
Well,
Before all of it.
yeah. Well, whenever things open up again, assuming assuming I'm still here, like when I moved here, I go, all right, great. We essentially located. I'm going to start building business. I'm going to start creating contacts and things like that with these bars, making friends, like basically setting stuff up. And I go, all right, cool. I've gotten stuff set up. Just about to ask these couple of these bars about putting shows together, and then everything shuts down. And then all those bars closed. Like close, like gone. So I go, all right. Guess I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna do online stuff. I'm gonna talk to my friends who I haven't seen in forever.
I started a production company like 2 weeks before the lockdown happened. I started because I had been producing shows for years now. The first one I did was in December 2013. That was my first Nightmare Before Christmas burlesque show. And so last year I just decided to start to have it all under one name, just have it under this little production company, and I called it Remy's Playhouse. And I did one show in Jackson. I have a good friend who's a producer in Jackson. It was January 8th, I think. It was a Saturday. It was a Saturday before the shutdown. And then I had a big show scheduled for the end of March in New Orleans. And it was going to be like my first big Remy's Playhouse production. Had the cast lined up and everything, and had ordered flyers. I'd already started putting flyers around town, and then the lockdown happened. So I still have every intention of doing that show, but I want to wait. I want to do it in person.
Oh yeah, you gotta do it right.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But I do still want everybody to like go follow. I have a page on Facebook for Remy's Playhouse, and I do want everybody to follow that if they could, because stuff is hopefully sometime this year going to be happening with that. So
yes, yeah, you go to Facebook group. She does have a fan page for Remy's Playhouse. I follow it already because I'm a fan, and so it's a really good thing. But you've also been busy with other stuff. For one, you have a Patreon, which I do have a link right there underneath your name for the patreon.com / Remy Dee, makes it nice and easy, which has some fun stuff. I can see. Do you have what sort of fun stuff can people see on your Patreon page?
So I have tiers starting at $1 on my Patreon. $1 gets you access to all the Patreon stuff and a picture of my cat. And then, the higher the tier, the more stuff you get. I'm offering prints for sale. I have a calendar for sale. I'm offering, like, the highest tier will get you a one-on-one consultation with me. And the reason I started the Patreon was because I'm not just a burlesque performer. I'm also a writer. I have a degree in writing. I used to write for a magazine. And my everything performance-wise is very up in the air right now, but I have never stopped being a writer. And I have a few projects that I want to get going again. And I know this Patreon is going to be like the kick in the ass I need to write, because that's just a very tricky thing for me. If I don't have a deadline, it's not going to get done. So I have to give myself a deadline with this. So the Patreon is for my writing stuff. I have a couple of big writing projects coming up. And also I started a YouTube channel recently. And it's kind of going towards that. The cash from the Patreon is going to help me get like better equipment. I need a microphone, a personal microphone will be really helpful and stuff. The YouTube channel that I came up with is called Loose Lessons with Remy Dee. And it's just me talking about a random fact. I'm a sucker for random facts. I love learning. I grew up watching, Bill Nye the Science Guy, Magic School Bus, Beekman's World, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. So I kind of want to take that educational aspect, but add a burlesque cosplay sexy twist to it.
No, I'm on board. I watched the episodes that you talk about sharks.
Mm-hmm.
You have a weird thing for sharks. I've noticed.
I
Through the years.
do.
So I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I definitely recommend everybody checking that out. Which you can look. I think it's actually as Remy Dee 504. Is that right on YouTube? Or can we track down
No, it's
Remy
just
Dee?
it's YouTube/Remy Dee. The only thing is I can't remember if there's a dot between the Remy and the D in my YouTube link. I'm pretty sure it's just youtube.com/Remy Dee.
I'm gonna
Pretty
find
sure.
out right now because I'm a professional. Uh, because let me B B D D D D. Let's see if it comes out that way. And it comes out, yeah, youtube.com/Remy Dee. I know you have to get so many viewers or followers before that kicks in. So maybe that's why I didn't do that yet because I wasn't sure if you hit that point. Because you have to have so many like followers before you get that special link where it just becomes your name, youtube.com/your name versus youtube.com/R3P2211 or whatever it is.
Right.
So
Well,
you
I
hit
don't
the
know. I mean,
followers.
I only have 215 followers right now.
I think it has to be
I
at least
think
100. Maybe that's what it is.
okay. I know something big happens when you hit 1,000 followers, but I can't remember what that is.
If you get 1,000 regular followers, I think that's when you start. You start getting the potential of getting monetized.
I see.
So if you get to that point, make sure. But the thing is, whatever you make sure you're using, personal music and not using anything that can be registered because they can get demonetized like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I'm being really careful about that because somewhere down the line, I want to use, that's the other thing I'm hoping to get with this Patreon is I want to be able to hire somebody to animate certain parts of it because some of the things I'm talking about would just be easier with like a graphic or an animation. But I might also try and incorporate movie clips. And I know I have to like credit where the movie came from, like, this clip from X-Men is property of 20th Century Fox or something like that. So
Yeah, you'll have
I'm
to do
still
that.
figuring all that out. I'm starting really simple right now. I'm just using pictures and I am crediting like where the pictures came from. Hi, Kitty. But yeah, and I felt so the reason why I went with the shark video first is because A1, I love sharks, and also I won a contest back in August because a few people sent me a link saying like there's a contest where if you win you can get paid to watch Shark Week and tweet about it. And I'm like, all right, what the hell, I'll enter. And you had to like submit an essay with an interesting shark fact, and also it was optional to submit a video of why you would be a good Shark Week Twitter ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually got I have a shark burlesque act because Jaws is one of my favorite movies and because I love sharks. So I actually put on my shark burlesque costume and did this video about how much I love sharks and how much I want to win this, and it fucking won. And the essay said, like in what 500 words or less, tell us about your favorite shark fact. And the shark fact that I wrote my essay on became the first video that I did for Loose Lessons, the fact about thresher sharks using their tail.
Yeah.
And that was also the other thing that kind of nudged me to make this YouTube channel was like because I found out that I beat like 1,000 other people to win the Shark Week contest, and like that's like Remy, you got to give yourself credit. If you won this contest, you got something special. Just, make something with that, create something. So here we are. I'm making something.
That's part of the reason. Also, the reason I do the talk show, other than just catching up with my friends, stuff like that. I also make sure that people have stuff to promote because I think it's worthwhile. So make sure everybody who's watching this both live and later, because sometimes people watch it later, which is still fine. You just can't talk to us. That's
right.
But yeah, make sure that you one is you follow Remy on Instagram, which is at Remy Dee 504,
Mm-hmm.
and then her Patreon. Even for $1, I think even for $5. I mean, $5 a month. That's one less cocktail or one less latte that you have to buy to make sure that she keeps on her ass about writing stuff and then putting together these really cool shows that you can watch for free on YouTube, youtube.com/Remy Dee.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the other reason why I want to make sure to talk to my friends, catch up, and then make sure that people get their shit because that's what makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Half the reason I started doing this was because I wanted sure people remembered at the very least, people's names keep being remembered. If it keeps being put out
Yeah.
there. So even if you can't go and do shows, maybe someday some guy goes, yeah, I was rumbling around the internet and I came across this dumb talk show, but I remember watching this really, really awesome girl who apparently is a performer in New Orleans and she has these really cool shows. And so I got into it. That's really all that matters. Uh, that's why I do it all. It's I go, here's some cool shit that you need to pay attention to. So whenever everything's live again, you can still go see that shit. So go see that shit when it goes live again. But don't go right now. Stay away from New Orleans.
Right.
Wait till the all clear. I can't hammer that enough for people because of all places, it's like, also being in a place where people are touristing, I'm just going, like what I'm seeing here in Austin, you guys are seeing like tenfold. And so it's just, that's the reason we aren't getting better is because people aren't paying attention. So pay attention.
Listen, if people need to come to New Orleans, then they need to come to the Peep Show on January 28th and tip me $500 each. That is the only way I will be okay with you traveling to New Orleans right now.
Tipping $500 and then buying about 10 or 15 drinks at the Always.
Exactly.
That's in addition. So again, that's not part of the 500. That's $500 to her plus 10 to 15 drinks.
Yes.
I mean, you can pass them out. I mean, it doesn't matter. Always in a great spot, so I want to make sure they're supported too. Like when I had Scabies, because I had Scabies on the show too. And he was telling me all the great stories from the lady that owns Always and takes care of people and stuff like that. So I didn't even know a lot of these stories he was telling about how much they were helping taking care of people during Katrina and all this other stuff. I go, then yeah, I'm like, Always is like my number one bar now when I go to New Orleans. Just kind of want to hype in this because it sounds cool. And then every performer I know has said nothing but good things about it. So that's usually a really good tale.
It's like it's a second home for a lot of us. It's a super open space, super queer space, and yeah, it's when they had a fundraiser sometime last year so that they could keep the light bill on, keep the lights on, and everybody was like coming together and throwing some because that place has helped us make rent for years and years now. Like the least we can do is help them make rent now that they need it. So
I remember that because they did an online thing, and I think I ended up giving like $5 or $10 too. So because I went, you know what, I like this bar a lot. Everybody I know, literally every performer I know in New Orleans is going, help out Always. I go, well, I mean, this is what they love too, so it's fair. Like you, it's Scabies. I know Betsy Propane just did a show there the other day, which was pretty awesome. Miss Monarch, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going, I'm happy to help out. So, and when I can't help out with money, I can also go. So when New Orleans opens again, people, don't go before. But when it does, go catch a show at Always.
And buy 15 drinks.
And buy 15 drinks. Regardless,
and tip $500.
To whatever, like if you're going to go with whatever Remy does, the Peep Show thing, which is an amazing thing because they do they're doing the old school Peep Show with the glass. You tip your little, I think what it is, you have to buy the little coin or whatever.
Yep.
You have to put in. No, it's adorable. It's amazing, and I love it. But it's all outdoor. It's technically outdoors for the viewer. And you just have like a little curtained area. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Okay,
There's
I'm
a
making
they
sure.
yeah. There's a curtain outside, so that obviously, so people driving down St. Claude don't see the girl in the window, the performer in the window. But they, in between customers, they'll come in and like, spray down the glass and spray the curtain and everything, and sanitize it between customers. But yeah, you just go get your drink and you get a coin and you trot over to the curtain and then put the coin in the slot, and the screen comes up and there's a dancer.
Yeah, and I like looking at stuff. It was like some of the other performers, like it's, and also the performers are of all genders, which I think is also really awesome. The fact is, like, that's what else it's paying attention to what's going on, and I know some other non-binary gender performers in New Orleans who perform there, which I think is amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
always, when it's clean and you can go to travel again, do so. If you have to go to Remy's show, tip her $500. If you don't tip her $500, I'm gonna know. I'm gonna come after you.
You can put money through the slot. You can like just make it rain through the slot.
She'll write her Venmo on her hand and do
Yes.
just, just, and she'll go check that phone, waiting for that tip. It's like, where is your phone? Are you local? No, Venmo.
And it was so cool because I did this show a few months ago, and it was so cool doing the peep show because since the glass is there, it lets you be so close to this person. Like, it was a really intimate experience when I did it because you could get like right up to the glass and get like, that was the closest I was to a stranger since before the pandemic started. Like, so that was neat. I'm looking forward to that again.
No, that's really cool. I live in Texas. Something like that would not exist without being real strippers, and because that's just where Texas is. I mean, there was a strip club that rebranded itself as a restaurant to get away with still being strippers when the harsh lockdown.
Oh Lord, yeah.
Because that's Houston, no less. That's fucking Houston. Because what's the bare minimum? We got it. Anything beyond that, open game, baby. That's just how it is. All right, so we got about 12 minutes left to go. So we've talked about we talked about Patreon. We've talked about your YouTube. Do you want to talk about the other sites? Because we can talk about that too.
Sure.
I don't know. That's why I asked.
It's all right.
So yeah, I mean, it's fair. I know you
Nah,
posted
I
on
do.
your just social media, so that's why. But I'm also
Well, I
like,
mean, I can't. I mean, like, I can't put it on Instagram anymore because Instagram is being, even worse than they were before about trying to keep professional naked people quiet. So I can't. None of us can advertise our OnlyFans on Instagram anymore. That's why a lot of people are flocking to Twitter now.
Well, guess what? Remy Dee also has an OnlyFans. So, like, if you don't care about her writing and you still want to contribute, you can contribute in other ways. Because that's a tagline for you. If you don't care about my writing, go here. So yes,
You want to bypass all that crap and just see the spicy pictures.
That's really what people like. Patreon is just fancy. Patreon is a lot of foreplay, and if you don't care about foreplay, then go to.
That's exactly what it is. Listen, though, I have to like warn people because my OnlyFans is weird, and not weird in like I'm showing off kinks that nobody's ever heard of or anything. It's weird in that like one day I will be, in my underwear eating Zapp's potato chips and like, wearing a shark hat or something stupid like that.
I'm okay with that. I mean, of course,
yeah.
I like weird, so but I just maybe you'll awaken a new kink for somebody who did not realize that they
exactly
really what Zapp's eating Zapp's chips with a shark hat on. Maybe somebody's kink that they didn't realize.
I do I do a cosplay set every month, and I let my fans vote on the steamy cosplay photo shoot. This month is coming out next week, and it's a surprise. I have this month and I have next month's ready, but I'm still letting my fans vote on what's going to be for March. And right now, She-Hulk is winning, so there might be a sexy She-Hulk cosplay set coming in the near future. But yeah, I'm still like that website just fascinates me because I can get completely dolled up and full face of makeup and one of my burlesque costumes and get a good response, but then like a picture of me waking up in the morning, taking a shot in the bathroom or something, like, or by my window or something, messy hair, and that gets like a huge response, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing makeup for?
It's like I've noticed with OnlyFans because I've known several people who've gone into doing it and stuff like that. But there's also weird things like there are other people doing OnlyFans which aren't doing just the sex work stuff. There are just the sexy stuff. There's a professional wrestler who's teaching people how to wrestle via OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing sexy about it whatsoever. It's just like it's just another medium. It's like
Yeah.
and I just like literally I go I do a talk show on Twitch which is normally about gaming, and I'm just doing a talk show because it's something different. And I
Yeah.
appreciate everybody who joins me to do so and talks with me and talks with the people I'm part of. And I forgot, like, we still got time. We can run as long as we want. I don't care because nobody's after us. But cosplay, that's another big thing you're involved with in doing cosplay stuff, because that's half the reason why I hired you, because I produced a cosplay burlesque show, and you were one of the top names on my list to make sure to be part of the show. So
Yeah. Yeah, it just hit me that I've been cosplaying because I tried cosplaying when I was in high school, and it was, it was okay, but I've been like trying to do cosplay at the level that I'm at now. I've been doing it for like 10 years because my first real cosplay was at San Diego Comic-Con in 2011, and it hit me that 2011 was 10 years ago. My first costume was Harley Quinn from Arkham City.
okay, yeah.
And of course, like once I got in the burlesque, and I was able to make the costume have more than one purpose. I could wear it to a con, and I can also use it for a show. That's when like it all took off. And the one that I'm probably most known for is my Pee Wee Herman cosplay. That is the burlesque act that has taken me all over the country.
No, I've only seen pictures, and I think I saw some video because I think you posted some video from it. And I only know two. You're one of two people I know who do Pee Wee Herman burlesque.
Emma
And the other
Dilemma does
person,
one too.
yeah, she does.
Yeah.
They incorporate Ariel, so that's what makes it a little bit
Yeah.
different. Because Emma's an amazing aerialist. Of course, any time that
Yes. Oh my
they can go
gosh.
into the air to do stuff, I'm
Listen,
waiting.
Emma's Deadpool act.
Yeah, that was like when they brought me on, they hired me on to do to produce the show for OniCon. They only had one name. Don't get like they loved everybody ended up being in the show, but the reason they go, well, we want the Deadpool act from Emma, and I go, well, yeah, let me make sure that they're available. And so, and luckily Emma was available, so it worked out. And then there was and one of the other performers wanted to do a Deadpool act too. I'm going, sorry, I booked somebody specifically for the Deadpool act,
Yep.
so they had to
Yeah.
change roles. They were fine with it. They
Like,
understood. And actually, I think after that performer saw that act, they came and go, yeah, I get it. And they go,
yep, I get it.
it's
Like,
brilliant.
man, my head exploded. My world was changed forever. That is one of like the best nerdlesque acts I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So,
And the behind the scenes work to be able to do that act there was crazy.
It was a privilege to share the stage with Emma that night.
No, it was a good show. I was really happy that went really well. I was really glad for it. It was a good weekend, and so.
Yeah.
But yeah, your Pee Wee Herman act is. I'm sure that's why you do call your place Lemmy's Playhouse. My guess is a nod to Pee Wee Herman. I would
Very
expect.
much so. Yes.
No, it's no. Everything I've heard has been great about it. I saw some video of it. I haven't seen a full video act because just hadn't had the opportunity, and I've heard nothing but good things. So everybody has known his produced or seen the act has like said it's amazing. So, and the fact that you can tour the country with it.
Yeah, like, so when I was like a blossoming burlesque performer, so classic burlesque for a long time was not my forte. I kind of did really well with the nerdlesque and the cosplay. So I kind of had it in my head, well, all of these burlesque festivals only want classic. I'm never going to do burlesque festivals. But then as more and more people were asking me to do Pee Wee, I just started submitting it all over the place. And lo and behold, everybody's, even if it's not like a nerdlesque themed festival or not a neo festival, I think it's just such a funny act and it's such an iconic character. Like that's why so many people want it in their show.
Well, yeah, it's amazing. If ever I book again to do shows, believe me, you're on my list. So, like, because I like booking variety shows anyway. So I like throwing it. All right, cool. Here's burlesque. Here's sideshow. Here's music. Here's all this other stuff because I like all these different things. And so, if ever that happens, so people just stay home, wash your hands, mask up, take the fucking shot. As far as or 2 shots because the vaccine. So that way we can do live shows again and like where we feel comfortable and making sure that you're safe. And when that happens, I'm gonna book a show and I'm gonna bring Remy to do Pee Wee, and I'll have some other crazy stuff. Maybe I might bring Emma DeLemon. May have a dueling Pee Wees because that'd be crazy.
People have talked about like because Emma and I aren't the only ones with Pee Wee acts in in the country, and somebody said y'all should just do a show that's nothing but Pee Wees, and I'm like, we're all gonna dance to the same song.
Oh, that's very true. Because all it is it's tequila all night long.
Everybody has to, I mean, you have to. Like if you do a Pee Wee act and you don't dance to tequila, people will be angry.
Maybe we can set it up and get a live band to do it. And I'm already ruminating. So everybody, if you want to see it, this show this year, first off, let me know. There's my Instagram handle underneath. 2 is stay home, mask up, take the shots, and then maybe this time next year, we can get the Pee Wee Festival where we have some band playing tequila like 8,000 times, but we have like 15 different performers of Pee Wee. Have a Pee Wee Festival. Or it might have to be like a Tim Burton thing and just like.
Yeah, there you go.
Or maybe somebody does a large Marge burlesque act, and so that might be a fun thing, or if not, somebody needs to. just. So we're just about out of time. Patreon.com/Remy Dee. Follow her on the Instagram at Remy Dee 504. YouTube.com/Remy Dee. OnlyFans. Is that just Remy Dee or is that got the 504?
So OnlyFans is REMYD, just the letter D 504.
Okay, no double E. All right. So follow all that. Pay a couple of bucks for all of it. It helps a great performer and a great person who I adore. She's amazing. And if you happen to be in New Orleans, go. That's only if you happen to be there. Don't go there. Don't keep spreading shit. Go to the Always. Check out. Grab a drink. Look at the peep show. There's always great, amazing performers. You're going to be there. When are you going to be there? Like a week or two?
January 28th.
January 28th. Ed Worst, you know what? You're already following her on Instagram, so she's going to tell you when you're going to be there. So do so. I recommend. Thank you once again for being a part of the show, Remy. It's a great chatting with you. I've been chatting with you forever. So,
No, thank you for having me.
oh yeah. Anyways, everybody be safe, be cool, be groovy. So Monday, Scabs and I are doing Gaffing the Truth, which is for Remy and people who aren't aware who are watching this now. We talk about weird stuff like conspiracies, cryptids, ghosts, stuff like that. So here's the thing about this coming Monday show. We about a month out, we always figure out what our subjects are. So we talked about this at the end of last month, well before last week. It was last week. And so, because we knew that the inauguration was happening on Wednesday, we thought it'd be funny.
That's weird.
There we go. My mic is active. So yeah, it's just kind of weird. It's kind of like we're actually talking about timely shit for once. Then I also have the Devil's Hour, which is coming on Wednesday. I've got some nice and fun acts before me on that. So on Inauguration Day, I'm having the show, and we're talking probably about the inauguration because I'm off that day, which I'm glad because I live in a capital city, and hopefully the rumors are not true about some of the shit that may be happening in capital cities. But yeah, assuming I have internet, I'll have the show, and then Saturday, following this, a week from today, we'll be having another edition of the Give the Hoot production instead of my show, which is another great 5 or 6 really great performers. Give a Hoot, the Great Southern Sights of Hooting. And then who knows what's going to happen after that. So make sure you follow the channel. You'll see all the cool stuff with myself. Scabs the Clown does some stuff here. Tifa Tilly Weeks does stuff on here because it's her channel, so makes sense. Anyway, thank you once again, Remy. Everybody be cool, be safe, be groovy, and as always, keep drinking.